A very good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to another episode here on the Life Signatures Radio. We are in the middle of a series. We're talking about reputation, and this is very important, ladies and gentlemen, for all of us. If you are a human being, let me tell you, there's a currency in this world called reputation that matters to you and matters to me. I cannot do business, I cannot do life with you if your reputation is soiled or if it's spoiled. That's why you and I have got to care about our reputations. This podcast is a daily show where we talk about purpose, productivity, and resilience at all times. Purpose, productivity, and resilience is important in life. I do believe these are the three major pillars in life. If you remove any single one of it from one's life, their life comes crumbling down. And that's why we are doing this podcast daily. So today we're going to continue looking at another reason why the reputation that we do have is something that we've got to care about, and we've got to go to war for that particular reputation. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
Every successful person, every successful entity, every successful company, every institution that has been successful or that is maintaining their success, obviously they are looking and they're maintaining their reputations. One of the things that really brings down, especially in this day and in this age, one of the things that really brings down people is the idea of a reputation. That's why somewhere around COVID-19 in the year between 2019 and 2022, there was a lot of quote-unquote cancelling other people, deplatforming other people, right? Because they knew that if we soiled someone's reputation, or if we leave someone on this platform of ours, their reputation is burgeoning. We've got to stop it, right? And it's continuing, by the way, in a subtle way. Have you ever noticed these days, this is 2024 when we're recording this, have you noticed that we no longer are having those fake people who used to call themselves fact checkers? You don't see any fact checkers around. Why? Because the thing that they wanted to do between COVID and the elections in America, they already accomplished it. Now they don't need it. So now that America is going to elections again in 2024, watch out, something else might come. I don't know what but you get my point. Reputation is absolutely important in life, not just in politics, not just in elections, but in every sphere. I think everyone who wants to do anything in this life, anyone who matters in one way or another in this life, have got to care about what the reputation is in this world. If you don't care about your reputation, it's going to come to your attention at one point in time. Why? Because number one, sometimes the world is evolving, the world is changing. Have you seen sometimes people adopting this in Africa? Talking about Africa, have you seen people adopting these things called pronouns that I identify as him, her? Is it him, her, or he, him? I identify as he, him. I identify as she, her. Those confusing things, right? Sometimes you're minding your own business, And then someone comes and tells you you're a homophobe because you don't respond to pronouns and all that stuff. You get. In other words, even though you are doing nothing wrong, even though you're not doing anything wrong, you still might have your reputation soiled. That's why you and I have got to be very careful about what people are perceiving, thinking, saying about us. And if you're going to make sure that your reputation is healthy, then you're going to be someone who does, first of all, primarily things that matter to you, things that contribute to society, things that change, things that bring care, things that bring life, things that bring impact, because you love it. Basically, do your purpose, and your reputation is going to be good and healthy. That's the first thing you gotta do. Then, once your reputation has been built, you cannot continue just ignoring the fire of thinking that it's going to ride. That's why we said yesterday Coca-Cola is always advertising because of reputation is fickle. It's kind of like what Zig Ziglar said about motivation. He said that many people say motivation doesn't work. Well, so does bathing, and that's why we recommend it daily. The reputation is a daily thing. I kid you not. It's a daily thing. You can wake up one morning and you find your name, especially if you're doing, it's very interesting, especially if you have a reputation of what it's salt. You're doing things and you're creating impact, you're doing things of purpose. You can wake up one morning and you find yourself in a tabloid. Yeah? People have said either things that are true or things that are not true. But because, by the way, our reputations are that fickle. There are some things that as an obscure person I'll do and nobody will say anything. But if I have some kind of reputation worth its salt, maybe I have some money in the bank, I've done some things and so on, I'm championing some things, and people will start talking. People will always want to talk on a reputation. You see a man who is rich, you want to talk on their reputation. How did they get that money? Right? How did that lady get that married to that man? You want to talk on their reputations. And it's kind of like just a human thing. But at the end of the day, you and I have got to care about what our reputations are. Why? Number one, trust. Because if you are not trusted, or if it's reputed that you're not a trustworthy person, you lose in life. But today, let us talk about number two, recommendations. I tell you, there is something beautiful. When I started doing life coaching people, I did not go to radio stations, newspapers, and I did not make Facebook. Facebook was not popular those days. I did not make Facebook adverts and so on. No, I just found one person and I delivered value to them. So much so that they felt the people that I love, the people that are in my life will benefit from this person. They started recommending me. It is what we call word of mouth. It can happen that way, or you can flip it where you actually ask to be recommended. Let me tell you something about recommendations. It is absolutely delicate. That's the word. It's absolutely delicate, because if I am recommending you, I am not recommending you. I am recommending me. I'm recommending myself. I'm putting my name and my very reputation on the line because of you. That is how recommendations work. That's why there are very few out there. But when they are genuine, they sell much more than a billboard worth hundreds of thousands of shillings can be able to in fact millions of shillings, Uganda shillings. What you put in a billboard, you might spend 20 million Uganda shillings to put up a billboard in a prominent place. And people will just drive by and see how beautiful the city is, and they go. And then someone you have interacted with, you have blessed their socks off. You've done what my coach Phil says, okay +1. I mean, top-notch customer service, top-notch. You've under-promised and you've over-delivered. And now they are raving mad. Not raving mad, they are raving fans. They are raving about your service. They're saying, this guy, you've got to try this guy. I mean, you've got to try his sauce. Have you tested his sauce? That alone goes into the very heart of people who are hearing. Why? Because number one, the people who are hearing are in a relationship with that person who is speaking. Because he's not going to advertise to strangers. We always tell people who are close to us to test what we have been blown away with. You go to a hotel somewhere and you're blown away with their experience, with their services. You are going to recommend people, obviously. They don't even need to ask you to recommend and to mark them on Google Maps and whatever it is, or to Facebook. You will recommend automatically. Why? Because they have done something good. And when they do something good, their reputation in your heart, remember, reputation is your perception based on things that you have done or based on things that people have heard. But when people experience you, they will automatically do two things: rate you highly or rate you low. When they do rate you highly, believe me, they will recommend. It's a natural predisposition for every human being to recommend every time, unless you're some weird. But every time you experience something nice, have you ever? And we do this a lot. That's why this thing called viral. You watch a clip on Facebook or whatever it is, and it just makes you cry, or on TikTok and it just makes you cry. What's the first thing you wanna do? You wanna download it, you wanna put it on your status, you wanna share it with your girlfriend, you wanna share it with your boyfriend, you wanna share it with your loved one. Immediately, you wanna share it with your group, your boys. Immediately. We recommend daily. People are so concerned about their names, their brands and reputation that they will not endorse anyone that will spoil their names. And there are so many ways that your name can be spoiled. There is no way that someone will endorse you or even go further and recommend you if your reputation is not good. We gotta sort out our reputations instantly. I mean, there's a guy during the COVID-19 drama that was going on. It's a guy who acted, a lead actor in a series. I've forgotten the name of the series, but the name of this guy was Jussie Smollett. He stage managed a racial homophobic attack in his life, and he went on TV and all that stuff. And I mean, the raw incident captured even the attention of the likes of Facebook, TD Jakes, and Steve Harvey. And they went and they tweeted and they said things, also then they're trying to keep their reputations up there, that we are not homophobic and all that stuff. What happened? It turned out that the guy had stage managed that thing, and it was not even true. You get it? The name of Steve Harvey and the name of TD Jakes is already on the line, because they have gone ahead and they have tweeted their opinions over something that was stage managed, and they did not know. They had staked their reputations and clout in supporting that young man. And when the truth came out later, it must be very shaming for them. Very shaming for those two great men. One thing is for sure, ladies and gentlemen, these two men are not just about to recommend anything that is remotely connected to Jussie Smollett going forward. Nothing. They're gonna drop that guy like a hot potato. They're not gonna do any recommendation for him anymore. But you see, because this man's reputation has been spoiled. We see this a lot when Tiger Woods had marital problems. What happened? All the endorsers, all the big brands, apart from Nike, all of them dropped the guy. They don't want anything associated with the guy. But if you do your reputation well, it goes without saying that it is beneficial to you. We are human race who are social animals. We will not fail to recommend someone with a good reputation. Someone with a stellar reputation, we will not fail to recommend them. When you go and you're blown away by someone's service, you will not fail to recommend. You will not fail. You cannot settle. You cannot settle you cannot settle. You just want to recommend. So I tell you, it's why you and I must care about what our reputation looks like. Just one tweet from a loser like Oprah Winfrey, for example, will be read by millions of people, or an Elon Musk by millions of people. But they don't. Oprah Winfrey, Elon Musk, and you and I, we're not going to tweet something that is related to something that is of bad reputation. We're going to recommend that which is a good reputation. So please note and learn. Tomorrow we continue. Until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.